morning, SKN. I'm Alicia Daniel Blake. And guess what? Guys, it's just you and me today. We have Jamie. Jamie, good luck with all of your studies and your assignments. That's why he hasn't been with us for these past episodes. And Kortensia is not feeling well, so we're also sending well wishes to Kortensia. Kortensia, hope you feel much better soon. And so guys, let's have fun today. Today it's partly sunny with a 20% or a slight chance of showers with a high of 90 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be a great day today. Nice and sunny. So in our local news, our first story, we have 30 supervisors assigned to STEP assigned, and STEP completes 10 weeks of training. This from SKNIS. 30 supervisors assigned to the Skills Training Empowerment Program completed 10 weeks of supervisory training and received their certificates during a ceremony held at the Solid Waste Management Corporation Conference Room on Thursday, May 5th. The Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Osbert D'Souza, said, I quote, I gathered that the training was well received, and I want to impress upon you that you need to put what you learned into practice. We want you to use what you learned in the training sessions over the 10 weeks to enhance your supervisory skills, to make sure that the people under you are comfortable. End of quote. Mr. D'Souza reminded the STEP workers that their contribution to the Federation is greatly appreciated. The Permanent Secretary said, don't let anyone see you differently. The contribution that you are making on the STEP is as good as the contribution I am making in an office at government headquarters. Everybody's contribution counts. End of quote. Emil Green, director of STEP, said that the training was designed to boost supervisors' efficiency. So there you have it. STEP has been doing some supervisory training, and it's been going pretty well. In our second story, this is by way of a Nevis Island Administration press release. The Ministry of Tourism or Nevis will introduce 4 new events as part of its month-long tourism awareness activities dubbed Exposition Nevis. The new events are the Bath Community Festival, an entrepreneurship workshop, a culinary tour, and a festival at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park. Mr. John Hanley, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, while speaking to the Department of Information, recently gave some insights into the new activities. The Bath Community Festival included a fair that was held on Saturday, May 7th at the Fort Charles, Nevis. Permanent Secretary Hanley informed of upcoming activities. He said on Thursday, May 12th, will be an entrepreneurship workshop which will be held at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park, and this is to encourage our tourism stakeholders to be equipped with the tools necessary to start their own businesses, and once they have started these small businesses, to be actually successful in maintaining them. On Saturday, the 14th, there will be a culinary tour, which we call Know Your Country. It's a culinary tour of several small restaurants, so it would be similar to what persons know as a bar crawl. And we would start at around 11 a.m., he said. On Saturday, May 21st, there is going to be a grand festival at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park from 12 noon, and in that festival, there is going to be a food court. He said there'll be a barbecue zone, some cultural performances, and some fun family games, competitive activities, and there will be a kids zone, art and craft exhibition, and more. So all of those new activities sound very exciting, and then there'll be the customary activities. And children and young people at risk of gang violence and crime. Inspector Isles set up the first club in 2017 in the Molyneux and Phillips's neighborhoods, with its success leading to the creation of further clubs across the country. With 13 Explorer clubs now established in different communities and an approximate membership of 1,400 children in St. Kitts, Inspector Isles is poised to launch the first club in Nevis in a few weeks. The clubs run after-school programs, field trips, and camping opportunities during school holidays, and have a particular focus on cadet parades and drills to help build discipline and camaraderie. So, good work, Inspector Isles, and we also know that this was one of the initiatives of the Team Unity administration as a way of molding the youth so as to ensure that they would not turn to crime and violence. Viewers, there you have it for our local news. We'll be right back with regional and international news. Don't go anywhere.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes. When you feel it shaking and it's moving around, you see the ocean gone left the fish and the sand. You should run, run, run to hide on, 'cause tsunami soon come. Mommy, uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
When you feel the earth shaking and it's moving all around, you see the ocean gone left the fish on the sand. You should run, run, run to higher ground, 'cause tsunami soon come.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Have you had your cheers yet? I'll have a little bit of mine. And you have some of yours. And we now continue with the latest in regional news. This from Win Media. Should the region expect another wave of COVID-19 to spread in the Caribbean? Dr. Carissa Etienne, director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, during a recent COVID-19 briefing said, I quote, "The Caribbean reported a 15.4% increase in new infections, with cases rising in 24 of the 34 countries and territories, and deaths in the Caribbean increased for the third consecutive week by 39.6% as compared to the previous week." End of quote. While health officials locally and regionally have not confirmed that a fifth wave is imminent, they have asked the public to consider the trends of the spread of the virus in the past and continued to remind people that the pandemic is not over. COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations are rising in far too many places, which should prompt us to strengthen our measures to combat the virus, including surveillance and preparedness. End of quote. When analyzing the dashboard on the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, in the US, there is a slight uptick in the daily case count as of May 4th. Surveillance has been one of the necessary tools being pushed by the global medical authorities, and new estimates from the WHO showed that the full death toll associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, directly or indirectly, for the last 2 years has approximately 14.9 million. That is a range of 13.3 million to 16.6 million. So viewers, as noted previously, our good place may be going places in the sense that we have to make sure that we go back to being as careful as we can and using all of the prevention techniques as pointed out to us by the COVID-19 task force, because we see that there is a definite uptick. And we know that St. Kitts and Nevis is frequented by many individuals, visitors, persons returning. So we have to put those things back in place. And now for the international news. Patient treated for monkeypox in isolation at London hospital. This from The Guardian. A patient is being treated at a specialist unit in London after they were diagnosed with monkeypox, a rare viral infection. The person had recently traveled to Nigeria, where they are believed to have contracted the illness, the UK Health Security Agency said on Saturday. They are being treated in an isolation unit at Guy's and St. Thomas's Infections Disease Unit. Although monkeypox can be spread during close contact with an infected person, the agency said it did not spread easily, and most people recovered in a few weeks. As a precaution, the USHSA said its experts were working closely with the NHS and would be contacting those who may have had close contact with the person, including some passengers who were on the same flight. Early symptoms of monkeypox include fever, headache, muscle aches, backache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, and exhaustion. A rash can also develop, usually starting on the face before spreading to other areas of the body. The rash progresses through different states until it forms a scab which falls off. Dr. Colin Brown, Director of Clinical and Emerging Infections at the UKSHSA, said, I quote, "It is important to emphasize that monkeypox does not spread easily between people and that the overall risk to the general public is very low. UKHSA and the NHS have well-established and robust infection control procedures for dealing with cases of imported infectious disease, and these will be strictly followed." So there you have it. We have another infectious disease on the horizon. However, they said they have it under control. So let's take their word for it. So we'll be right back. That's all that we have for you for the latest today. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Don't you go anywhere.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Meryl Streep once said, I quote, "Acting is not being someone different. It's finding the similarity in what is apparently different, then finding myself in there." End of quote. Today, we are honored to be speaking with Juliet Jeffers, an award-winning actress with roots right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Juliet is not only an actress, but also a writer, director, producer, and educator. She has worked on stage and screen for over 20 years, starring in 19 films, 34 TV shows, and over 60 commercials. To learn all about her career, join us in welcoming Juliet to GMSKN. Welcome, Juliet.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. You recently played Dr. Sassner in the Netflix film Aftermath.
Yes.
How did you, in the same way that Meryl Streep said, find yourself in that role?
Well, I played a therapist, so Dr. Sassner is a therapist. And so generally speaking, therapists are very patient and empathetic. And so I found I tend to be a patient person, except for when I'm driving. But that's a whole nother story.
I understand. I understand.
Right. I come, New York driver, So, but I tend to be a patient person, and I'm always, listening to my friends and family and giving them support. And so I channeled that part of me for the role. And it was a great experience being on that film.
Nice. I like the way you use the word channel. Now, you also mentioned previous to me that that's not your most recent acting role. You said you also did a role on Law & Order. Tell us a bit about that one as well.
So I recently appeared on Law & Order Organized Crime. So, they have a bunch of shows in that franchise, but this one was Organized Crime. And so I recently I went to New York to shoot that because I'm based in Los Angeles now. I kind of go back and forth, but mostly based in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
And before that, I did an episode of 911 Lone Star, and that airs on Fox. So both of those came out like within 2 weeks of the other. I think it was around March when it came out.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have a thing for investigative roles?
You know what? That's what it looks like right now, huh? I mean, I feel like it's interesting because there's no one type of character that I tend to be cast as, Okay. I play the victim, Actually, it's interesting because I did an Instagram post where I showed a picture of myself in different roles, but they were all like in the hospital. So I did an episode of ER, of Grey's Anatomy, and Chicago Med, where I'm all in a hospital bed.
Oh
what
my!
I mean? So I was like, is there?
So that's a patient role, yes.
I'm like, but a lot of, other than that, most of my characters have there've been a wide range of characters that I've played.
Right. In doing our research, we found that you have starred in over 19 films. Which one? Can you pick one that stands out the most for you?
Yes. The one that stands out the most is a film called Noise in the Middle. And what was so special about this film is, well, there were a lot of special things, but one was that I didn't have to audition for the role. It was an offer. And this was a director who I did a commercial with several years prior to that. And it was a time when I wasn't even auditioning for roles because I had just had surgery on my ankle. So I wasn't auditioning at all. And my agent called and he said, there's this offer for you for a film. And I was like, well, I had a boot on my leg, And I was like, I can barely walk. I'm like, no, I don't think I can do it. And then I thought about it. I looked up the director and I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. let me at least find out who this character is, because maybe this character is sitting behind a desk all day long. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I read the script and I said, yes, this is doable. And I said, well, just let them know that I'm in a boot. And the director said, we will work around it. And so it already started with such a special feeling. And then the next best thing, and I know you guys would love this, is that my character is Caribbean. And it's actually, yes. And so I like to do that whenever I can. I like to represent. So if there is a role that I feel like, can be Caribbean, sometimes I'll ask, if I can make her Caribbean. And, but this particular one, that's what the director wanted. And,
Nice.
And I played a therapist. It's interesting. There's another therapist there.
Yeah, there you go.
And both of those, so Aftermath and Noise in the Middle are both horror films.
Oh.
And so, yes, you should check it out. That Noise in the Middle is on Amazon Prime. So you can still see it.
And I commend you on putting your Caribbean-ness into the fore. Thank you so much. And you have also written or performed 5 solo shows. Tell us a bit about.
Yes.
Right.
So solo show is like a one-woman show, right? And so the very first one I did, it's called Batman and Robin in the Boogie Down. And that is based on my brother and I growing up in the Bronx. And he unfortunately passed away back in 96.
My condolences.
Thank you. So it's a tribute to him. And I performed it the first time in 2003. And the most recent time I did it was just last year in November. So it's one of those, it's a story that is timeless. And I can be performing that until I'm 70 years old. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said, it's timeless and people can relate to it. And I've gotten a lot of awards for it and nominations for it. And it's really special to me because, of course, it's about my brother and I portray about 20 different characters. I portray my father, who's from Nevis.
Right.
And,
can we pick up after the ad? We're out of time for this segment, but can we continue about the explanation for Batman and Robin in the Boogie Down?
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much. So we'll be right back, viewers, after this short break.
Okay.
I'm here to say kids, Nevis, with the name for us I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols in a time like this. All for one for all. St. Kitts Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface or the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first and boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mask up, furlough, sanitize, observe the protocols all about. Be wise, mask up, furlough, sanitize, me family fitting boat, and you.
Blessed love and greetings.
This is infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittitian and Nevision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are continuing our discussion with Juliet Jeffers, an award-winning actress who has roots right here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And Juliet, you just mentioned to us that your dad is from Nevis, and you were also telling us about Batman and Robin in the Boogie Down. You were going to give us a little summary about what exactly it's all about and how you managed to perform 19 different characters. Tell us a bit more about that.
So growing up, I always liked to, I guess I call myself a sponge, right? And so I like to pick up different accents. I look at people and observe them, and I can do their mannerisms and all of that. And so I've always had a thing for doing different characters. And so I played my grandmother, my father, my mother, my Dominican uncle, and different accents and so on. So I love doing that, and it really, my father, who passed away in 2020 at 93 years old.
Oh, my condolences, but he had a full life.
He did, and he was creative as well. Okay. That's where I had my he was. You got the genes. I got the genes. He liked to act. He sang. He played music, played the guitar and the piano, and so very, very creative. And so he was probably my biggest supporter of that play that I did, because I did a run of it in New York, and he came so many times, but he also brought people. He was always bringing people, telling people about the show, and
he was proud of you.
He was proud. Yes. And I think about my father and Nevis, and I've always wanted to do a film in Nevis,
Nice.
I always wanted to. I've always wanted to put Nevis on the map, right?
Yes.
And just create awareness of beautiful island of Nevis and St. Kitts as well. But but because my father was so creative, I want to pay homage to him, and so I have some things in mind. I will keep you posted on that.
Yes, and please, we can do with a really nice exclusive right here on Good Morning SKN. So let us know when you're ready. You're quite welcome to come back. So can we then rest assured that your performing arts began or were nurtured by maybe looking at your dad, that kind of thing? How did you become interested in the performing arts?
I think, yes, definitely. He performed a play that he wrote called what was it called? This is when I was younger. The Prodigal Son. And so I remember seeing him, as a little kid on stage, and that was very inspirational. And then, of course, I went to the High School of Performing Arts in New York, which is based on the movie Fame, which the movie Fame is based on. Yeah.
Yes.
And so as a little kid, I always knew that I wanted to pursue it. And then I went to college so I could have something to fall back on. So I studied languages, but still, as soon as I graduated, I just went right into pursuing a career in acting, because it's what I've always wanted to do.
Very nice. So this leads us on to the next question. In addition to your love for the craft, what's the one thing that you think you would like to achieve? What's your overarching goal in doing your performances?
Well, my artist mission statement is to heal myself and others using my creative endeavors. And so sometimes when I book a role, I don't necessarily have control over what the role is and all of that. But specifically when I'm creating my solo shows, because it's coming from me when I'm creating my solo shows,
Yes.
when I write, and like I said, I'm writing a couple of films right now. And so when I write, that is my overall mission, that I can, from my creative endeavors, that I can heal others. And, healing, right? Healing comes in so many forms. So
Yes.
if you
I
laugh,
love it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If I do comedy, you know what I mean? If I do a comedy, then laughter is healing.
Yes.
Right?
We're pressed for time. Sorry to cut you off. We're pressed for time. In one sentence, you are the curator of Black Voices Solo Theatre Festival. How did that get started? And just let us know broadly, very quickly.
Yes. Brian Rasmussen, who runs the Whitefire Theater in Los Angeles, he's the one that came to me with this idea. And this was after George Floyd, during the pandemic, when that happened. And so he was inspired to create this festival, and he came to me and he asked me if I would be open to curating it, and I didn't have to think about it at all. I said yes,
nice.
Absolutely,
yes. Mm-hmm.
And so it was a lovely opportunity to give Black artists a chance to perform and to tell their stories.
Nice. Juliet, I wish we had some more time. And, definitely I already said that you are quite welcome to come back on Good Morning SKN. And this was such a stimulating conversation. I love the part where you continue to maintain your connection with the islands. And so you are most welcome to come back. But we do have to continue with our other segments.
Yes.
So thank you very much for doing this for us. And viewers, we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Thank you.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are Salt Smart.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Welcome back to GMSKN. And this segment is one that we call Youth Power. And today, we'll be speaking with Christy Ann Mills. Christy Ann is a national of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis and a footballer currently studying at Oral Roberts University. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you.
So we'll begin with this question. Were you once a part of the Sugar Girls team for St. Kitts and Nevis, or are you currently? What's the situation with that?
Yes, I am currently a part of the team.
Okay, so does that mean for certain matches you get called to come and play, or is it dependent on your availability? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's both. If I get the opportunity to be called up, then I would be excited to do it, obviously. But there is also the situation as with school, and if I would be able to leave due to matches being played with the team as well.
Okay.
But my coach was really, he was really supportive of me leaving to go with the national team, and I was able to do so both times when I was called up.
Okay, good. So you said you're coach. So are you on a sports scholarship, or what's the area in which you're doing your studies?
Yes, I am on a sports scholarship. Thanks to God, I was able to get a full ride and be able and not have to, worry about paying for school and education, football, everything.
I think that's motivation for some of our other young people who are good at sports. Guys, viewers, you can get a scholarship and this can take you places. Christy is our example. So your next question. We also understand that you played in the 2020 CONCACAF W Olympic qualifiers. What was the highlight of that experience?
Well, I guess for anybody, it would be just being able to be around, actual professional players. And we even stayed with in the same hotel as the top team, which was Canada. And that was something, everyone was fangirling, and it was just a sight to see. And they even went on to win the Olympics. They went on to win the gold medal at the Olympics, and to be able to be a part of their journey, even though we lost, it was we were like, we got them there because.
Nice. Yeah, because they played against you. And which part of the team do you play? What's your position when you're on the field?
I play in the defense for the national team.
Ah, defense. What does that involve? I know nothing about sports. I know nothing about football. What does it involve being a defender?
Well, the defender, they protect the goalkeeper and the goal, but the goalkeeper would use their hands and feet to stop the shots. We would protect the goalkeeper with the last line of defense, clean up any mess that would come, stop strikers from scoring, those kind of stuff.
Ah, so is it what do they say? High in terms of getting hit. Do you get hit often because you are basically putting yourself in a position between making sure the ball does not get to the person in the goal?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
In terms of defending, does the ball hit you often?
Well, yeah, I think, well, just being on the field in general, you get hit by the ball a lot.
Yeah.
But being a defender, you have to be aggressive. So I would say, as a defender, you hit the ball more than the ball hits you. But, yeah.
Right, okay. And how different is it playing overseas compared to playing at home?
Well, I would say that it's a bit more fast-paced, especially with it being college football. It's a lot more competitive, you know. These girls, they grow up doing this, you know, their parents, they push them so much, you know, that they just want to make their parents proud and do their best. They go all out. And like for a lot of them, this is the last time they would play football at such a high level. So yeah, they really give it their all. And it's a lot of fun, but it's really, you could say, very high stakes.
So would you say that this is raising your level, raising the standard at which you play?
I would definitely say that. Last semester we had a different coach. So I have learned a good amount, very versatile amount about positioning and just different tactics about playing, because I got that from two different perspectives.
Yes. So you go, girl. But we'll take a quick commercial break, Christy, and we'll be right back very shortly.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor. Head over to
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are Salt Smart.
Welcome back to GMSKN, and we continue our discussion with Christy Ann Mills. She is a St. Kitts Nevis national and a footballer currently studying at Oral Roberts University. Christy, let's pick back up our conversation at the point where you can tell us a bit more about the type of courses that you take at university.
Well, in terms of courses, it's a lot more generalized stuff. like Janet. I have to do oral communication, which I guess would come into play now because we have to do, it's about public speaking and creating your own speeches.
Yes.
It was a bit difficult for me because I don't really like speaking in front of people.
So you prefer to play than to speak?
Yes.
But I guess it's a critical part because we do have athletes, when you have a press conference, etc., you need to know how to represent yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the other things you do?
Well, one of the courses that I did last semester was actually a senior course where it was about the business aspect of being a sports oriented I don't know, in terms of what I'm doing, I would be doing an exercise specialist. So those areas of being pre-med and pre-occupational therapy, the business aspect of it, in terms
that.
Yeah, in terms of how you would set up your business, how you would treat your employees, and the law side of it and all that. You wouldn't think that you would have, it's things that you would think of, but you wouldn't think of off the top of your head. So
right.
It was really a good experience being in that class. I did really well, so yeah.
Nice. Hey, you're from St. Kitts and Nevis. You're going to do well. So that's the area that you're going to specialize in. You said physiotherapy?
Well, my major is health and exercise science, but I am concentrating on exercise specialists.
Okay. Sounds interesting. So it's more well-rounded than just a specific sport. So in general, is football the only sport you like? Because usually they say that when persons play sport with a ball, they usually can transfer easily to any other sport with a ball. Is that the case? Keep your eye on the ball?
I guess maybe. I also like basketball. I like volleyball too, so I guess.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I mean, once it's sports really, I just gravitate to it because I also like track and field a lot. I grew up doing it, so.
Right, I like that. So, where do you plan to practice when you complete your training? I know, of course, you're going to be in football for a while, but in terms of your career path, where do you prefer to establish yourself? You're now in Oklahoma. Are you coming back home?
Well, I would like to come back home and do have my own business there, but I guess I have thought about it a lot, as people have asked me this a lot of times. So I guess I would say that I would like to establish myself here in the US a little bit and get some more exposure, experience, and that way I could come down and be the best.
Yes, and we're going to keep our eye on you because I think you have great things in store. And what about balance, though? Because you are studying, but at the same time, you're still a footballer for the national team. How do you balance that?
Well, it can be very difficult because, you know, when you go with the national team, there's so much, the schedule is really packed and there's so much to do. You always have to be doing something, whether it's a team activity or some like training, going to games, some sort of press conference or something like that. But all with the grace of God, I have been able to keep up. And the professors are really helpful in that area. They understand, they're very understanding of student athletes. They help us out a lot and give us not as too much leniency, like to overpower the others, but they really work with us and help us to get all our work in. So
yes,
it is challenging, but it's just a lot of time management and using those little time spaces to do at least a little bit of work, because they add up in the end.
Yes, I hear you, Christy, and I commend you for being able to balance that and keep up the good work, because you're making us here in St. Kitts and Nevis very proud, and we look forward to seeing more of you on the football field as well as in the professional arena. So congratulations, Christy, and do take care. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization. Viewers, Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and I hope that you've been enjoying your time with me here today, because guess what? I have been enjoying my time with you, and we are going to continue with Loosen Up. Maya Angelou said, I quote, "To describe my mother would be to write about a hurricane in its perfect power, or climbing falling colors of a rainbow," end of quote. Now, I think Maya has something there, because our mothers are so diverse. They take care of everything in the house. They make sure that we are ready. They prepare us for going out into the world. And they have a very critical role. Now, yesterday was Mother's Day. We do hope that all of you had a very special day. So for Loosen Up today, I am going to be discussing one of the most cherished relationships in the world, the mother-child relationship. So, as mentioned before, our moms do so much for us, and they are actually moms, and especially in the Caribbean, where we find that they have to take on both roles. Single parent moms have to take on the role of both the mom and the dad. So then we can ask ourselves, viewers, this is just between me and you, how important is the role of a mother? And feel free to send us your comments on our social media pages, platforms, because this is one critical thing that all of us can talk about, our moms. And we know there are a few instances where persons have lost their moms at an early age, but the mom is a very critical role. First off, we can ask ourselves, the mom is the one who carries the unborn child. And there's always been this debate about when does a child become a child? And as far as I'm concerned, it's conception. Because it's at that point where we have the two cells merging to become something that eventually becomes a child. And so for me, it's at conception. And so it's critical, that point, because we also have instances where moms can lose their babies, and it's a terrible experience. We've actually had Jeanne Williams, who wrote a book about that experience right here on Good Morning SKN. So it's something that is distressing for most persons. And so we always have to bear in mind as well that an issue that's currently in the US right now is Roe versus Wade, which is surrounding the whole concept of whether or not abortions should be legalized. And it's critical in the sense that in the US, that was the landmark decision that caused that. And we always have to look at the fact that some persons actually terminate their pregnancies. So those of you out there who actually kept your babies and became a mom, we have to commend you. Because we know pregnancy can be a difficult time for many persons. For some persons, it's like a breeze. Other persons, it's not that easy. And we also recently had on Good Morning SKN a beautiful story about nonuplets. I hope I said that right. Nonuplets, where this couple in Africa actually had 9 healthy babies who were conceived naturally. Imagine that, having 9 babies to take care of all at once. So, that mother definitely has to be commended. But we also learned that she had special care. She had to be taken to a special hospital while she was pregnant. And then at the end, she did have to have a cesarean. So, kudos to all moms, especially those who have multiple births, because not only is the pregnancy a little difficult sometimes because of that, but sometimes they even have concerns when it's time for the birth, and concerns in terms of the health of the children because of them having to share that same space. So yes, kudos to moms with multiple babies. And then we have the different stages that the children go through, which is quite challenging again. We have the toddler stage, and don't forget the terrible twos, where we see that the young children are investigating everything. And so everything needs to be tasted and put in their mouth. They have tantrums, especially the terrible twos, because they're still finding their way in this new world. And so as a result of that, they are just investigating everything. So that's one. And then you also have the age just after that, which leads into the primary school age, where they're still finding their way, but they're more settled now. They know acceptable behavior. They know what they should do, and they know what they should not do at this point in time, as long as they're guided accordingly. And again, we have to face the fact that moms are often the ones who do much of this training. And I should say, there are actually men who do have to take on this role. And kudos to those men as well who take on the mom role, who the mom may be out of the picture for whatever reason. And as a result of that, we find that the men take on this role, and most of those men who do that do very well. So kudos. And let's look at the pre-teen age. So now they're striving for their independence, they're testing boundaries, and as it mentioned, pre-teen. So we find that this is the point in time where they're like, okay, practice teenagers. So the challenges of mothering a teen might then come into the picture. The teen, and the full-blown teen now, is the one who tests all boundaries and see how much they can get away with. Because in their head, they're basically adults. But we adults know that they're not. And so they want to experiment and do different things that they see adults doing or their peers doing. And so now it's the time for the mom to let them know their boundaries for sure, so as not to let these teens get out of hand. Teens, if you're watching, do your best and try not to challenge your parents, your mom in particular, because we love our moms. And then we'll also have the late teens, where in some countries, such as the US, by the time you turn 16, you can get your driver's license and you can do other adult things without repercussion. Here, you can vote at 18, but you still can't have an inheritance until you're 21. So some things can be done here, but not everything. But moms, you still have a critical role to play at this point in time. So then viewers, let me ask you the question. When does motherhood end? What do you say? Send us a comment. Let us know, because my mother still mothers me. She wants to check up on me and make sure I'm okay and so forth. And so good morning, Mom. Love you, Mommy. Because of her example, in my mind, motherhood does not end. Because once you've had a child, you want to make sure that that child is doing okay, make sure the child is happy. And being a mom of 3 myself, it's always a challenge, but it's always exciting. And that's something that moms have to do. There's no breath for us. At one point, there's not even bathroom time because your toddler comes and interrupts you during your bathroom time. But it's all worth it, just to see their happy, smiling faces. Love you, girls. And viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial.
Most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
No cash, no car, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
Welcome back to GMSKN. Gifted Roots is a local company that provides all natural products to its consumers. They sell top quality, 100% wild-crafted sea moss, plus other gifted roots with all national delicious fruit flavors. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Asim Jenkins, and he is the representative for Gifted Roots. Welcome to GMSKN.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, first you have to tell us about what I just said in terms of that's what's on our Facebook, on your Facebook page.
Yes.
What do you mean by wild-crafted sea moss? What's that?
So it's all natural sea moss grown out in the ocean, close to coral reefs. So it's naturally grown. Yes.
Oh, wild-crafted. I like that.
Wild-crafted.
I like that. Okay, recently you sold natural shots at the Faded 2.0 event.
Yes.
What was that like? Was that a step up?
It was a great experience. I got the connection from the owners of the group, which are the ones who carry out Faded. And we partnered with them to distribute shots on entry. So everyone who came in had a free food shot. So it was a good experience. A lot of people were new to it. And I guess we branched out a lot from that.
So tell me, what's a fruit shot?
Well, a fruit shot is basically all natural fruits. We have different flavors. So at Faded, we had fruit punch, we had pineapple plum, we also had apple sour, and pineapple apple sour, which was a good variety for the group because some people are allergic to different things. So we wanted to cater to everyone. So it's you're mixing the natural fruits with sea moss, and you create it in basically like a applesauce type of texture, and it comes with a spoon, and it's served extra cold, so it's really refreshing.
Any alcohol in it? It says shot.
No, you can add your own alcohol separately, but no, it comes all natural, just fruit flavors, so it's good for kids, good for anybody.
Okay. So where would we normally find your products then? Because you said most people are not familiar with it. I thought I knew it, but I'm looking at it again. No, I'm not familiar with it.
Yes.
So it wasn't just a step up. Was this an introduction of your product?
No, basically taking it to a next stage.
Okay.
Because we've been functioning since last year, August. But what we do is City Flower Shop on Spot Street. That's the main distribution spot. You can also get it at Des Food Hut, at Ram's Food Court, Burdock.
Oh.
And you can also get it at Study It Bar in Newtown.
Okay, sounds good. So you mentioned that it was launched last year. And why did you come up with that name? Why do you consider your products gifted?
I think it's a gift to not just Kititians and divisions, but a gift to humanity, because the cures are grown naturally. And sometimes you go to the artificial stuff, but I wanted to give that gift of a natural product to Kititians, divisions, and people worldwide.
So then tell us a bit about the benefits of sea moss then.
Sea moss has many benefits. It's basically considered a superfood because it has 92 of the 102 minerals your body needs to function properly.
Okay.
So it contains zinc, potassium, iodine. You can have calcium as well, plus many other minerals. Mixed with natural fruits, which also has its own vitamins and minerals. It's only a gift.
It's only a gift. I like that. And tell us about some of the products you offer then. What do we have here today?
Today, we have some of the dry sea moss, which is the dehydrated sea moss. We sell that in different weights, 2 ounces, 8 ounces to a pound. We also sell power juices, which are basically meal replacements, because it's about 2 tablespoons of sea moss in each of these. This is called Power. There is also banana and oats, watermelon lemon, and lemonade. We also have fruit punch, and we also sell iced teas. The iced teas are a lot lighter, easier to consume. It doesn't have as much sea moss as the power juices. We have those in lemongrass and moringa. Those are always freshly made as well. We have fruit cups, which come in different sizes. These are basically the small sizes. Comes with a spoon. This is apple sour, and this is pineapple plum. We also have sea moss gel, which you can consume just like that, or you can add it to your smoothies, your teas, ice cream. You can manipulate it how you want.
Nice. I like that in particular because you get to decide what you want to use it with, and you still get the benefits.
And you still get the benefits.
Now, you said meal replacement.
Yes.
That looks like a small amount. Is that filling?
It is, because CMOS itself is an appetite suppressant, and based on the many minerals and vitamins in it, mixed with the natural fruits such as banana and oats, it has the fiber and these different antioxidants that would help you throughout the day.
Sounding very good. And we're going to try some?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. So viewers, don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
I need some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom, but my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So girl look me, but me no inna that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
I understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. And today I'm speaking with Asim Jenkins, the owner of Gifted Roots. Asim brought some products here for us to sample. Asim, in the break you were telling me which product is the best seller. Let our viewers know which one that is.
All right, so based on consumer feedback, watermelon lemon is the #1 seller in terms of the power juices, and pineapple plum is the #1 seller in terms of the fruit shots.
So I think I would like to try both of those.
Okay.
So let me try a fruit shot. So this has in sea moss plus the fruit flavoring.
Pineapple. And plum.
Pineapple and plum. Let me see how this goes. Viewers, I'm going to tell you in a second. I have another one. I see why it's the bestseller. I am getting the CMOS texture, but as Asim rightly said, I'm getting a shot of the fruit. So I'm getting pineapple, I'm getting plum. And if you look closely, the natural fruit colors are also coming through because, you know, CMOS is kind of translucent. Well, that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's a kind of white, as you can see here. This is the natural color of CMOS. And so when the fruit is added, you realize it gets a different speckled color. Very nice. Awesome. This is very tasty. I'm going to have to put it aside and
yeah, that's for you.
Have some more later.
That's for you. That's for you.
Very tasty. Delicioso. Okay. So which is the other one?
Alright, so we have watermelon lemon. And you want me to open it for you?
Yes, please. So it doesn't have the does it have the same texture?
No. It's
okay,
a lot
little
more fluid.
More liquid.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Yes, it's not as thick as the fruit chop, but you can still feel a kind of jelly effect, which is nice. I love the texture. Watermelon. So you said it's watermelon with what?
Watermelon lemon.
Watermelon. Oh,
lemon.
there it is.
Yes, no water added.
Okay. Oh, did you hear that? No water added. The label is spectacular. It has both fruits on the label. It has a slice of watermelon and it has 2 halves of a lemon plus a whole watermelon. Who helped you design these labels?
Well, I use a guy called Crispin Nisbet. He does all of my design work for me.
Very nice.
Yes. He's very good.
You tell him what you want and then he gives you some ideas about what it can look like?
Yes, I give him ideas. He has his own creative insight and we go back and forth until we find the exact product that we want.
Nice. I think I'll have a little bit more. Very nice. So in terms of these meal replacements, as you said, I'm trying to hold my viewers. I'm making sure that my my samples are separated. Thank you very much, Asim.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So we also have the different sizes of dry CMOS. How do you suggest that people prepare the dry CMOS? Because you mentioned that this, for example, could be used in smoothies and so forth. But how do you suggest that we use the CMOS itself in this wild state?
No problem. So basically it starts like this, the dry farm. And what you would do, you would put it in fresh water and you would wash it off a few times to get off all the salt. Then what you do is soak it in water for about maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, and it will expand. It will get a little soft and it expands.
Nice.
So once it expands, you put that gel in your blender and you add some water to it. And you just blend it, and over and over until you get the gel form.
Nice.
You could add extra water to it to stretch it out some more, or keep a little water to keep it thick. It's up to you.
Right. And how do you harvest, or where do you harvest? We have lots of seeds, but how do you harvest your CMOS?
Well, there are different ways. Because this is 100% well crafted, it comes from out at the coral reefs. So I have a supplier who would actually go out, dive, and collect the CMOS and bring it back. There is also a way that you can farm it as well.
Okay.
But you get the most out of it and the well crafted side. Once it's well crafted, 100%, you get the most out of it.
Nice. Yes. Very nice. Asim, I would like to thank you very much for coming and showcasing some of the natural ingredients that we have right here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. and other ways in which we can use CMOS, because I know locally we have the CMOS drink, and
Yes.
that's most of what people know it being used for. Or you use some of this in your porridge,
Yes, in your tea, anything like that.
Right, and you said you also have teas, iced teas?
Yes, iced teas as well. This is a lemongrass iced tea. As you can see, this bottle was branded for faded. So this is how it looked. So we had faded stickers on it as well, but we used them afterwards because those weren't used at faded.
So we commend you for all the work that you've been doing, and viewers, take the opportunity to reach out and get some of these healthy products. Tell them one more time where they can find your products.
So you can find these products every day on Spot Street at City Flower Shop. That's where you can find them most of the time. You can also find them at Des Food Hut, which is at Rams Food Court, Birdwalk. And you can also get them at Study It Bar in your town. Or delivery. I'll bring it right to your door.
There you go. Well, there you have it, viewers. We've really had a very tasty experience with Asim this morning. So thank you for coming on Good Morning SKN, and let us know when you have some additional products or if you're expanding elsewhere.
Definitely. And thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. Right. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
Veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. The preliminary competition for Panogrammar was held this past weekend from Friday, May 6th to Sunday, May 8th. And today, for GMSKN Reflections, I will be reviewing the top performances from the preliminaries. First up, we have the second place winner, Gabrielle Chartrand from Canada, who scored 85.2 points. Let's take a look, and I'll be having some of this, my fruit shot, during the performance. So viewers, you also can go and get something and then enjoy sweet steel pan music. Well, viewers, sorry for that short technical glitch, but we want to make sure that you can hear exactly what's going on, because steel pan music, sweet. And remember, I did tell you that you could go and get a little snack from your kitchen, but we'd like to suggest that it's a healthy snack. So hopefully you have something healthy in your kitchen. Maybe it's an apple, some sort of fruit, but hold that thought. We have that sweet pan music for you right now.
Chartrand out of Canada. He is a self-taught musician and a composer, and he hails from the city of Winnipeg. He is going to take us on a trip to Italy now. Love in Portofino by Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, yes.
Panogrammar 2022 continues. Gabrielle, this is your time to shine. Take it away. Bellissimo.
Position. And now we're going to go back and look at the person who was at the top of the preliminaries. And this performer is David Yundi from the USA. There you go. Welcome, David.
We're going all the way to the USA, but he's actually based in Trinidad and Tobago. He has an interesting story. He accidentally walked into the pan room in his primary school and immediately fell in love, and here he is today performing for you guys at Panogramma. Mr. David Yundi, he appeared last year and he's back again, playing for us Pan in A minor. Love these classics by Lord Kitchener. Pan and A
And I'm
minor,
really
I tell you.
impressed. That is why David Yundi from the USA is at the top of the preliminaries. That was Lord Kitchener's Pan in A minor, and I was really impressed with that performance. Viewers, I did really also enjoy my food cup. I hope that you enjoyed your snack, because guess what? We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Let's avoid overloading our healthcare systems. This means simultaneously protecting yourselves and your loved ones from all disease, including mosquito-borne illness like dengue fever, Zika, and chikungunya viruses. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases. This message is brought to you by the Pan American Health Organization, Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries.
Welcome back to GMSKN. Well, viewers, I don't know about you, but I had a good time with you guys today. We did quite a bit on our show today. We had fun, we had a taste testing, and we met 2 individuals on Zoom who, one is an actress, an all-round producer, and we also met our footballer who represents us in the senior Sugar Girls team, and we just had Asim Jenkins. And guess what? I actually still have my water lemon gifted roots drink right here, and I'm gonna finish it as soon as the show is done. But let's have a look at what's happening. First, we have CFBC admissions are open. The Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College CFBC admissions for the 2022-2023 academic period are now open and will end on July 31st, 2022. The application cost for early submission is $35 EC. CFBC has a wide range of programs in the following divisions: health sciences, teacher education, technical vocational education and management studies, arts, science and general studies, and adult and continuing education. Prospective students can access the application via the college's website, www.cfbc.edu.kn. For more information, contact the Office of the Registrar at admissions@cfbc.edu.kn. So just a reminder once again, viewers, CFBC is accepting admissions. So get in there, get your application. It can be whether you're just finishing with high school or if you want to do a level up on your education and get the training to advance. So go ahead, take a shot. Next up, we have a research conference. The Division of Health Sciences at the Clarence Fitzroy Brand College once again will be hosting its 5th annual research convergence tomorrow, Tuesday, the 10th of May, 2022. The theme for this year is Behind Great Nurses Are Great Educators. The topics to be discussed are as follows: plant-based diet and non-communicable diseases, children's perspective of healthy eating, factors affecting academic performance of nursing students, secondary analyses of the Jamaica Survey of Living Conditions 2018. The event will be held via Zoom. The meeting information, including the ID and the passcode, can be found on the CFBC Facebook page. For any additional information, email Kadian Kadian .HENRY @cfbc.edu.kn or call 465-2856, extension 1142. So that sounds very interesting. And the division, we know, nursing division, that's critical today, and we always would like to encourage persons who are interested in caring for others, go right ahead and join that particular division. It's key to our health because they are playing a very important role in supporting the doctors. And our third item in what's happening, World Lupus Awareness Day is tomorrow, Tuesday, the 10th of May. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that can have devastating effects, especially if undiagnosed and untreated. Last week, we spoke with members of the SKN Lupus Hope Foundation, President Keisha Isaac Adams and Vice President Victorine Hanley. And tomorrow, we are inviting our viewers to wear purple to show support for the efforts to advance lupus research. Let's all help to make lupus viable. And viewers, if you have not seen it, go to our pages. You can find clips of that interview on both Facebook and on YouTube, where we spoke with those two ladies, and believe me, it was quite eye-opening because lupus is an illness that can appear at any point in time. As it was noted, it's an autoimmune disease, so it causes the body to basically attack itself. And some of the effects are very strenuous and exhausting, as they themselves said, because it makes you very tired. At one point, you're full of energy. The next, all of your energy is gone. So that's something that you should go to our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel, and have a look. So anywhere on social media, we have those clips for you. So check them out, and remember to wear purple tomorrow, because that's the color for Lupus Awareness Month. And viewers, we would just like to remind you that you can follow us on our social media platforms, mainly Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. Studio 327 INC. Like, subscribe, follow, and share, because guess what? We are going to be right there with you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you start your morning with us right here on Good Morning SKN. Bye. Enjoy the rest of the day. And don't forget to wear purple tomorrow.